All right, let's talk about debt. It's one of the biggest hurdles to feeling financially free, and honestly, it can feel super complicated and just heavy. But don't worry, we're going to break it all down, and you're going to walk away from this with a clear, step-by-step plan you can actually use. You know that feeling, right? When you look at your statements and you get that sinking feeling in your stomach. It's like you're staring up at a massive, impossible mountain. It can feel so big it blocks out everything else. If you've ever felt that, trust me, you are not alone. But here's the good news about mountains. Every single one of them has a path to the top. You just need the map. And that's exactly what this is. We're going to give you the tools and the strategy to break down that climb into small, manageable steps so you can actually reach the summit. So let's start the climb. Step one is, without a doubt, the most important part of this whole journey. You can't fight an enemy you can't see, you can't climb a mountain you haven't mapped, so it is time to turn on all the lights and get some real clarity. Here's your first mission should you choose to accept it. You're going to make a list. For every single debt you have, I'm talking credit cards, student loans, car loans, personal loans, all of it, you need to find these 4 key numbers. Yeah, it might not be a ton of fun, but I promise you, this one act of just gathering the facts is going to feel incredibly powerful. See, when you put it on paper, it goes from being this vague, scary cloud of stress to an orderly table. Just look at this example for someone we'll call Alex. Right away, what jumps out at you? That credit card with a 20% interest rate. Oof, that's the real problem here. This isn't about judging yourself, it's about strategy. This list is now your command center. Okay, so you've got your facts. Now we can move on to step 2. This is where we build a smart plan of attack. This is where we stop just reacting to bills and start playing offense. And the very first part of our plan is the most critical. Think about it like this. If you're in a boat that's taking on water, what's the first thing you do? You don't start bailing, right? No, you find the hole and you plug the leak. It's the exact same thing with debt. Before we can attack the old debt, we have to stop creating new debt. So how do you plug the leak? Here are a few concrete things you can do, like today. You got to pause all new borrowing, switch to using cash for your debit card for a while, and you have to be really careful with those buy now, pay later services. They're just debt in a friendly disguise. Seriously, if you need to, take your credit cards and put them in a drawer. Some people even freeze them in a block of ice to stop themselves. Whatever it takes. Okay, the leak is plugged. No more water is coming into our boat. Now we can start bailing. And there are 2 main, really effective strategies for this. Which one is best for you? Well, that really depends on what motivates you more. So it's the classic showdown, motivation versus math. On one side, you have the debt snowball. This one is all about psychology. You attack your smallest debt first with everything you've got. You get that quick win, which feels amazing and builds momentum. Then you roll that payment into the next smallest debt. On the other side, you've got the debt avalanche. This is pure logic. You attack the debt with the highest interest rate first, because mathematically, that's what saves you the most money over time. Honestly, there's no wrong answer. The best plan is the one you will actually stick with. And what fuels both of these plans? The budget. Now, don't let that word freak you out. A budget isn't about restriction. Think of it as a tool for finding money. It's the engine that powers this whole thing by simply showing you where your money is going so you can find a little extra here or there to throw at your debt and get it gone faster. Okay, so we've got our facts, we've picked our plan. Now for the final critical piece of the puzzle, building a defense. This is what's going to protect all of your hard work from getting derailed when life, inevitably happens. Before you go all out trying to pay off your debt, you need a small safety net. Your very first savings goal is this number, $1,000. That's it. It's a tangible, achievable target that creates a super important buffer between you and any future debt. And here's why that buffer is so important. Think of it this way. An emergency fund's real job is to be insurance. It's insurance against future debt. So when your car needs a surprise repair, instead of reaching for a credit card and undoing your progress, you dip into this fund. It's your financial safety net. Finally, let's talk about mindset for a second. Getting out of debt, it's almost never an overnight thing. It's not a frantic sprint to the finish line. It's a steady marathon, and consistency is always going to win out over short-term intensity. So how do you stay motivated for the long haul? You have to make it a game. Track your progress on a chart that you can actually see every day. And when you pay off that first credit card, celebrate it. That is a huge deal. And most importantly, do not compare your journey to anyone else's. Just focus on your path and remember that every small step you take adds up to a huge distance over time. So we have covered a ton of ground here. Let's bring it all home and just quickly recap this simple but really powerful framework we've just built. It really boils down to just these 3 steps to get you to the summit. Step 1, get the facts. List everything out. Step 2, choose your plan. Plug the leak and then pick the snowball or the avalanche method. And step 3, build your defense. Get that $1,000 starter emergency fund set up. That's it. That's the path forward. Because ultimately, this entire journey just comes down to one simple truth. You can't change the past, but you have 100% control over the next decision you make. Financial freedom isn't a lottery ticket. It's a destination you reach one small, smart decision at a time, starting right now. So I'm going to leave you with this question. Don't get overwhelmed by the size of the whole mountain. Just focus on the very first step right in front of you. Maybe that's just finding the interest rate on one credit card, or maybe it's setting up an automatic transfer for just $5 into a savings account. What is the one thing you can do today to begin your climb?